And not every city can say they have a School of the Arts bearing the name of an opera star. The Jessye Norman School of the Arts will celebrate its 20th anniversary later this fall. Gary Dennis is the executive director, and he's our in-studio guest this morning, one-on-one with Richard Rogers.
Gary, welcome. 20 years. That is a huge landmark coming up later this year.
Absolutely. We're so excited. Yep.
That also represents a lot of students who've come through there who are now 20 years older than they were back in the day. Talk to me about all those kids who've come through the school.
Oh, yeah, thanks. It's actually one of the things that is most rewarding about being there and being there over time is having the kids come back. And last year, I remember we sat down for our summer camp training meeting, and more than half of our staff were graduates from our program.
That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
For people who don't know, what is the main mission with the Jessye Norman School of the Arts?
To bring art enrichment, art accessibility to students who might not otherwise have it throughout the CSRA. Both sides of the river, as long as you can get there regularly, we want you there.
And many of your services are free.
Absolutely, yep. Our after-school program and our summer camp programs are free. We do have a fee-based homeschool program, but it's really affordable. It was kind of started in conjunction with the folks at Fort Gordon Homeschool, and we do community classes. More than 70% of our community classes are scholarship, so we don't ever want money to be a reason why you don't participate in the arts.
You knew Jessye Norman. I knew Jessye Norman.
Yeah.
I was fortunate to sit down with her. Yeah. One of the final times was back in 2009. So we're going to have Jessye Norman join this conversation right now. Here she is, the late, great Jessye Norman. It's a voice that's truly been heard around the world. Her audience numbers in the millions. But this week, opera superstar Jessye Norman will sing for this, a little school on Green Street.
Oh, the school is so much a part of me. I really can't even sort of say.
You have been honored all over the world for your music, but where does the school fit into all this for you?
It really is such a part of me. I really couldn't say where it sort of, whether that the Kennedy Center honor or singing for the bicentennial of France or singing for President Obama, all of those things are delicious and wonderful, but the school is so special.
The school is the Jessye Norman School of the Arts. It's an after-school program serving students from inner-city middle schools.
We have finished our 5th academic year. Where does the time go? And the children are just absolutely the inspiration for it all.
A little about your own childhood. With no Jessye Norman School for the Arts, how did you find your own voice?
Well, you see, the thing that is so interesting about that, when I was growing up in Augusta, Georgia, we had the arts in public schools. We had the art appreciation teacher and the music teacher and the dance group and the band and the choir.
Her vocal training started in school and in the church, and if she ever did have a Southern accent, it's long gone.
So, because I think that I've spent so much time traveling around the world and traveling around this country that my Southern accent is sort of disappeared a bit. But if I hear it, I can imitate it. But
there's no imitating the voice. It's uniquely Jessye Norman, born and raised in the same city that gave the world James Brown. She saw him once in a hotel lobby.
And I sort of was standing, sort of waiting my turn to say hello to James Brown. And he looked at me and said, "Jessye Norman, hello." And I said, "I never expected that you could possibly know my name." And he said, "Of course, I know all of my homegirls." And wasn't that sweet?
How about that? Jessye Norman and James Brown in the same hotel lobby.
Right?
Isn't it great to hear from her as we celebrate
Absolutely.
her school?
Yeah,
she's really an inspiration woman.
Still, yep, to the kids, to the community, and I hope more people know about her. Yeah.
We had a lot of conversations over the years, and she liked to talk about how the arts would make the students better students academically. Have you found that to be true?
Absolutely, and the research supports it as well. If you want your kid to excel in mathematics, don't teach them coding, teach them music.
Yeah. Something about that part of the brain. It fires off the rest of the brain. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about here and now. You've got some things coming up in May, Little Mermaid, and then Under the Sea, a fine arts experience. Yeah. Tell us about Little Mermaid. Is this a presentation that you guys are working up within your students?
Yeah, so each one of our 4 major evolutions throughout the year, we do a June summer camp, a July summer camp, a spring semester, and a fall semester. This is our big spring musical. It's a Disney MTI musical. It runs about an hour. Before the musical, you can come in and you can experience a gallery exhibit. So about an hour beforehand, we'll have the work that the kids have put together on the visual arts side displayed in our gallery, and we'll have a reception for them, and they'll stand by their art and tell you what they put into it over the course of that semester.
And all of this happening there at your school?
Yep. And you can get tickets online at thejnsa.org.
Absolutely. You got a terrific website. And then summer camp, you mentioned that. Is that something that's happening right now as kids register?
Yes. In fact, applications are open now. If you'd like to apply for the program, you can submit an application through the same website, thejnsa.org. It's under student applications, and we generally admit about 100 into each of our 2 full-day, 3-week-long camps.
Quick question to wrap this up. What can the community do to support your school?
Come out and see a show, come tour the school, come see what we do, see if it's important, and then if there's some way that you'd like to support or share, it'll be apparent to you. Yeah.
Gary Dennis and the great Jessye Norman, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you, Richard.